for the arch, guys. Hopefully you're doing this, and it's International Pirate Day, so you can really arch your back now. Oh, that one even hurt me a little bit. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about positions. You're gonna wanna go ahead and start with feet together. You're gonna go ahead and think butt tight. Hands are pulled to the small of your back, and we're gonna go ahead and try to pull the elbows up into the sky, and that's gonna retract your shoulder blades back. A lot of people like to go ahead and pull their head up, and if we think and look at the neck, this is not a safe position, right? This is not ideal. So we actually wanna think about looking straight in the ground. If we can, just by pulling and arching through our thoracic, our upper back, that will start to pull the head away from the ground. Now, coach is gonna go ahead and just give us 2 to 3 reps, and we're supposed to feel this through the upper back, low back, and then the hamstrings if we do it right. Now let's talk about order of operations of how we're gonna wanna start this. We like to go ahead and think about firing the glutes first, and by firing the glutes, you're gonna go ahead and try to pull the knees up as far off the ground without bending them. And that's gonna go ahead and start to turn your hamstrings on, and it's gonna make sure your low back isn't the first muscle that gets fired to go ahead and do the rest of the move. Right? Then from there, we're gonna go ahead and think about shoulder blades retract back hard, and then we're gonna arch through the upper to mid back really, really hard. And then by arching through this mid to upper back hard, eventually your low back will start to turn on and start to arch with it. And you're gonna think about slowly coming up, think about a 1 count, and then a 2nd count coming down. It should be nice and controlled. It should not look like you're connected to an AED and you're going, clear, clear. Now, those are gonna be the durability tips, and realizing you will feel your low back, but it should be a light burn, but only after you feel it in your butt, hamstring, and your mid back. Now, most of us, our low back doesn't get worked out a ton right away, so you might start to feel this warm up on the back end more than any of these other movements. That's just because it's catching up, but it should not be the first. Now, how do we go ahead and make this harder? We don't do this more quickly. So our try hard tips is simply going to be extending out through the arms, and then that is going to test your shoulder mobility a little bit more, and you're gonna need to initiate the move with the glutes again, but then rather than thinking upper back first, we wanna think about raising the hands up first, and then arching more, and then coming back down. So this is going to really go ahead and test that rear delt, the lat, the shoulder girdle a little bit more in terms of, can we really start to open up more and more and more? Now, if you can see, if we're tight in the shoulders, you might be a little bit more like a Y, but if you can, do your best to see how close you can be in a I. As you can see, coach, go for it, coach. Whoa, yeah. There we go. Awesome, right? But that's a good barometer too, and test to see where your shoulder mobility is, right? And to see, can you get your hands overhead by arching through your low back, or is it actually your shoulders? Good luck.